Ni Mando'ade, besbe'trayce paril bener cuyot.
Sukui! Welcome back to Mando'a for Dikute. I'm Anubis. I've been studying and working with Mando'a for nearly 10 years. I'm a linguist by hobby, and I'm one of the contributors behind the Mando'a expansion project that's hosted on mandocreator.com, where you can always find the latest and greatest version of the Mando'a dictionary. And as always, I am joined here today with Nervod.
Velin, Olarom. Welcome back, guys. So, a lot of stuff has happened.
As it does.
Yeah, it has. So first, let me put out our usual disclaimer that I'm not a hobbyist linguist, but I really want to learn Mando'a. And I'll link the Mando'a dictionary and all new vocabulary, as always, down in our description. So, the thing that happened, we announced last time that we started a Patreon to help us improve our work here with the podcast, like with equipment and stuff. We already got free. I'm shocked. So, big thanks to Nagavanga, who subscribed in the Verdika tier. And a super huge thanks to both Galacharen and Eadin, that both just jumped in and subscribed in the Olarom Catching tier, what's like our highest subscription tier. That's crazy. Thank you guys so much. Just let me explain for a second what the basic Patreon benefits are that we offer without making that into a Mando infomercial here. Basically, the thing that all tiers have the same is you get access to our Discord, and that you get posts with a data collection basically to our episodes with pictures, some interesting tidbits, how we researched and our research resources, etc. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check out the Patreon. If not, that's also fine. Yeah, so also a thing that I have to plug, it doesn't end today, I'm so sorry, is...
But wait, there's more.
There's more, yeah, indeed. There's really more. Holy smokes. We're at Comic-Con Dornbirn in Dornbirn, Austria next weekend. And we will have a live episode there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of nervous about it. I'm not gonna lie, but also really looking forward to it. And one of our Patreons, Nakawanga, actually will join us as a co-host. That's will be super fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. And the con crunch is on for both of us, trying to make sure everything is ready. And Adika, my little kiddo, is going to be coming with me. So I'm trying to make sure that her kit is ready to go as well. And so that's fixing things on my kit, remaking my helmet, making her a new helmet, and making sure her kit's ready. That's the con crunch is real.
Yeah, feeling, yeah. My Shiarika just got new soft parts. I had to weather everything with airbrush today, so I had like completely black hands after that. That was kind of odd look.
Yeah.
But also I'm just trying to get all our materials going. We have a little something in the making that will be a cool little giveaway for the podcast. Not gonna spoiler that now. You will see when it's there. But yeah, so. A lot of things to do. So aside from that, I'm like doing my best to plug my gaps in the lore, so to say. my Sharika got me the Republic Commando novels for my birthday, and so I'm Gantosila. the woman knows what's good. She actually really listened when I said I had to read the stuff, and I really appreciate it. But that means I'm like researching, so to say, in that topic, and so far I love it. And the one thing that really was hilarious to me, the first thing that's in Mando'a in the novels is dikut, if that's what it's saying. I don't know.
Yeah, the very first word everyone was introduced to in the novels. Very first Mando'a word. There it is. Dikut.
Yeah, that's just fantastic. So
gotta love it.
I have to throw a little correction in there. Last episode I said that Django trained the nulls, and that was of course not Django but Kalskirata. Django only really trained the ARC troopers. So, sorry for mixing that up. An'u and Velin again.
There's that. The one thing that also happened as an aftermath of our of our Christmas episode, of our holiday episode, is I'm back on the Heturam game here. That's getting out of hand slightly. On that note, I noticed that we forgot one word for spicy, like overall spicy, not specifically this or that, would be janad. Just wanted to bring that up here. But yeah, I have been like adding chili and hot sauce to almost everything I ate in the last week. So, oh God, what have we done? So yeah, let's just get on then, going over our intro sentence for this episode.
So, all right, yeah, let's do that. So, if you wouldn't mind giving us that intro sentence one more time, we'll break it down.
Ni Mando'ade, besbe'trayce, paril, cuyot.
All right. So, should be pretty obvious what the first part there means. Ni Mando'ade, something that I think everyone listening here can pretty reliably say, I'm a Mandalorian. Ni Mando'ade. And then the follow-up to that, besbe'trayce, weapons, paril, that's a new word for us today, which is basically an essential part or component of something. And so, quick thing to notice here, where we have two nouns next to each other, two things with no verb in between, pretty safe to assume there's a dropped cuy. So, besbe'trayce, cuy, paril. Weapons are an essential part or component. Bener cuyot, of my existence, my present existence. So this was our closest stab at Din's quote from The Mandalorian. Weapons are part of my religion. Besbe'trayce, paril, bener cuyot.
Surprise, surprise, we gotta be talking about the steppy steps and the pew-pews today.
Yeah, let's have some fun. Let's talk about the toys.
Yeah. For years I have this meme stuck in my head and that I want to recreate at some point, like from Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it's the third one, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Where Keira Knightley has to hand in her weapons and the guy goes like, remove, please.
Yep.
And she keeps piling on weapons. That's basically, we have to do that in kids sometime. Like that would be a fantastic video.
We will definitely make that meme at some point, for sure.
So, but what I wanted to illustrate with that, there is not just like one weapon you carry as a Mandalorian. There's assortments, a melange.
And of course, plenty of reason for having all of these different weapons, not just for style points.
Yeah, I mean that's a part of it, I would say, but
yeah, for sure. You can't question the style points about it, but it's not the only reason.
Look at my big boomstick there. Right? So, just to get into the thick of it, I tried to structure everything a little bit. I think we will be going all over the place at some point, but I tried to structure it in a way that I said, like, okay, let's do melee first and then firearms after, but let's see where that leads. So one notable mention is the Mythosaur. We unfortunately do not have a Mando'a word for that now, but that's basically the big axe that not just one, several Mandalores have carried. It kind of looks like a big. It's kind of looking like a fan. How would you describe it?
Maybe almost like a shovel, really. Like it's
Kinda, yeah.
kind of has
yeah,
this horseshoe crab shaped blade on the end of a stick, and yeah, it's a bit of an unusual one, but supposedly it's made from. I think it's supposed to be made from
from a Mythosaur
Mythosaur.
skull or bones. Yeah,
the original Crusaders used. Yeah.
Apparently, it's like super sharp and hard anyway. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Really, really interesting.
Yeah, that's just. I'll make sure to post a little like collage or something for the episode cover. So make sure to put that in there.
Yeah, there's quite a few depictions of that out there in the comics and such.
Absolutely. One thing that's always funny to me, but it's the actual name of the thing, at least in media. It's the Karl dagger. So you might ask, why is that funny? Because Karl just means blade.
Right.
So the blade, the dagger.
The traditional Mandalorian dagger, which is called blade, the blade. But you know that really, honestly, that tracks with real life too, though, because there are a lot of things like that where it's like, oh wow, what's that sword called? Oh, it's a spada. What does spada mean? That sounds cool. It means sword. And it's like, oh wow, yeah, what's that cool German battle sword? The Messer, the gross Messer. Yeah, that thing sounds awesome. What does that mean? Big knife.
Big knife. Yeah, so, I love, but it's a really cool sword, to be fair. But yeah, the name is hilarious. When I first heard about that one in the YouTube video, I was like, really? They're making that up? And I was like, oh no, that's for real. Oh. I couldn't imagine that Germans would for all of you out there that are not able to understand German, one thing in German that's a given is that we tend to have like really elaborate names for everything, and in that case, it's just a huge knife. I was like,
really elaborate, but also very, very literal is typically the way.
Oddly specific most of the time. Oddly specific. In Mando'a, names can also be like oddly specific. The funny thing is that a lot of Mandalorians have names that like refer to weapons or other like dangerous stuff.
Right. The other well-known Cal in this case being in the Republic Commando novels.
Yeah, Cal Skirata.
Yeah. The man himself.
Dagger. Imagine calling your kid, I don't know, knife.
Yeah, this is my buddy Stabby. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my little brother Clock. Say hi, Clock. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of funny. Mm-hmm. Okay, then we have in a similar vein we have the Bes'kad or Bes'kad. Yeah. I think Bes'kad. It's just pronounced without the
you've got
there, right?
Yeah, exactly. You've got Kad, which is kind of similar to Kal, but it's more of like a sword or a saber rather than just kind of any bladed weapon. But then you also have Bes'kad, which is kind of more of a specific the Mandalorian sword, and it has it's never really been directly described exactly what it looks like, but there are a few depictions out there in media that show it with this kind of saber-like angular blade, usually with the beskarta, the chest diamond shape built into the blade somewhere. And really sells that, Mandalorian-ness of it.
Yeah, that's actually a good point that I just also wanted to bring up for the Carl dagger. That's also just beskarta shaped than most
It's
depiction.
pretty much, it's just a blade made into that shape, yeah.
I have no idea how feasible it would be, but beskar, so...
Yeah, magic metal. But,
So,
it
yeah.
really makes sense to have so many different variations on blades and the ways to describe them in the language, because speaking of that, there are actually fun fact, whenever you learn about what's important to a culture, learn about what they say, how they can describe things in the language. There's that kind of factoid that goes around about, the Inuit language has, I don't know what it was, like 40 different words for snow or whatever. I don't think the factoid is 100% accurate, but there are quite a lot of ways to describe snow in the Inuit language, and different types of snow and the different effects that it has from what type of snow it is. And in a similar vein, in Mando'a, there are 3 different ways to talk about stabbing somebody or stabbing something. It's 3 different types of stabbing. It's not just stab. There's stabbing with a small blade, which is chekar. There's stabbing with a narrow blade, like skewering something, basically, and that's kalikir. And then there's stabbing with like a broad blade, so more like a sword kind of stabbing going on here, and that's bikadinir.
Oh boy. That's something really Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Then I stabbed him. Yeah, no. Please describe exactly to me what you did. Because it's important for the context, of course.
You stabbed him, yes, but was it a shiv? Did you skewer him with like a screwdriver here? Or are we talking about like a sword? You ran this guy through. Like, how did this work? I need the details, the juicy deets.
That's so fun. Okay, I love it. So one thing I wanted to say earlier before Anu got on that tangent that was hilarious nevertheless is Bes'kad or Bes'kad already tells you that it is made out of beskar indeed, because the beten just gets rid of the like doubling we would have there. That's also, just correct me if I'm wrong, but my observation is that if we have doubling letters or consonants, that the the beten just connects them, because else it would be beskarkat.
Yeah, that's one way that the beten gets used. It is a pretty common way that you see the beten thrown in there. It's when letters have been cut off, and usually that cutoff tends to happen where letters overlap, where it's the same letter on the end as the beginning, so that the words flow together a little better. Yeah, that's we'll have to have a whole episode devoted to talking about the grammar of the beten.
True.
There's a lot there, and just to make a long story short, as a little preview of it, ultimately, when Karen Travis was creating words, and including the beten, she had some logic sometimes that she used, but for the most part, it's thrown in there because it looks exotic and interesting and different.
How to make a language look alien?
Yeah, throw apostrophes in it for some reason.
That's really a staple in all
exactly.
sci-fi languages.
And, yeah, Mando'a is somewhat a victim of that, but we've tried to wrap our heads around the patterns of how it's used, and there are some patterns that we've been able to write down into actual somewhat grammar rules that we can share with you guys. So at some point we'll do a deep dive into that.
Yeah, Sure. Just wanted to bring that up because it was so beautifully obvious in Bes'kad.
Yeah.
So then we speaking melee, we have the elephant in the room. I need to put a disclaimer before that because it's one weapon that's used by one Mandalorian at a time, so it's not really of the significance many people make it to be, but like still need to talk about it. It's of course a dark saber.
Yeah.
The unholiest combination there is, a Mando'ade and a Jedi at the same point. Like, what is going on? But it's of course the thing that's created by Thor Whistler as a lightsaber / Bes'kad, you could say. I was just thinking about what that would be in Mando'a. What is dark? Help me here for a second.
So dark is da. It's where the da where the verda comes from. So da, it would just be like dakad basically.
Yeah, that would work, I guess.
Dark saber. But of course, if you're talking about a lightsaber, there is actually a different word for that in Mando'a, and that's kad'al. So you could say da kad'al, probably, like dark lightsaber would probably be the way to say it.
Yeah.
You want to have some trivia about the dark saber and its origins. So it came from the Clone Wars, and this goes a little bit into what we've mentioned in the past about how old George got a little bit bothered by Mandalorians being possibly cooler than the Jedi, and this was one of the several arguments that George and Dave Filoni had behind the scenes, centered around Mandalorians. When Pre Vizsla was written, when his character was made in Clone Wars, and they had him fighting against Kenobi, he was originally just using a beskar vibroblade, I believe. And so he was able to fight against Kenobi's lightsaber with his beskar vibroblade. No problem, because it can block lightsabers, right? George Lucas had a problem with something that wasn't a lightsaber blocking lightsabers. And so that vibroblade was just reskinned into a black lightsaber to make George Lucas happy. And thus the dark saber was born. There it is.
That's kind of like the time the British army at Edinburgh Castle was explaining to the Queen why they needed cannon only on one side of the castle, because you couldn't approach it from the other sides. And the Queen was insisting that they put cannons up there, so they just put up some old naval cannons that weren't able to shoot anymore, just to make her shut up.
Yep.
So kind of the same vibe there.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, all right, to make George happy, we'll just make it look like a lightsaber, and then everything will be fine. And then, of course, they had to explain, why does this dude have a lightsaber? And so the whole legend of Tor Vizsla, the original Jedi Mando, was born.
Oh boy, but yeah, that's something to get into. That was something you got a little more background on that than I then. So I always wondered about that, but that makes absolute sense.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite melee weapon of all times. Oh boy. I actually made one for my kid. It's the Bes'bev.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So most of you might ask, what is the Bes'bev? And let me just read you a Shabla Kandozila quote for that one.
It's made for stabbing. Bleeds someone out very efficiently.
Why have a flute that's a weapon?
Maybe we just don't like music critics.
So that's a conversation between Vade Tajai and Baden Music, and it's just peak. So the Bes'bev is basically a beskar flute with angled off tip that's sharp, so it can double as a melee weapon, basically.
Right.
So if you're playing your tune and someone gives you osik for it not being up to their taste, you just stab them.
Stab them, and that would be kalikir, I believe. stab with a narrow skewer blade.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Anu, which kind of stabbing was that again?
I knew it. I knew where you were going with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just Mandalorian practicality for you there. So one thing we of course have to talk about is Mandalorian gauntlets, or more like the besbe'trayces.
Yes, exactly. There's something that you really don't see get enough love in the media, or really even in the costuming side of things. Like, you don't have a lot of MMCC kits with these, but the good old crush gaunt, the shukorok, that's it. Yeah, shukorok,
Yeah.
the crush gaunt. It's basically it's like a powered glove that is, as the name suggests, extraordinarily strong to be able to crush things and punch with extreme power and crush your enemies, break through walls, etc., etc., etc. Pretty, honestly, a pretty iconic Mandalorian weapon as well, but you just don't see it enough for it to be as recognizable as the others.
I think that's exactly the problem with it, that it may look cool, but I remember reading it in the costume requirements back in the day, and I just couldn't picture how it would look.
Yeah, and if you ever go Googling Crush Gaunt, it really just looks like any old armored glove. It doesn't look like anything special, but yeah, as far as I understand it in the lore, it's supposed to be something pretty potent.
Yeah. I mean, crush gaunts just sounds cool, to be honest. Like, that sounds like something straight from a video game. So.
Right. Yeah.
Nice. So the most versatile weapon there basically are the besbe'trayces, say, right? Because you have so many like different loadouts you can equip them with.
Right. Yeah. Like the gauntlet there, the besbe'trayce it's its own weapons platform, basically. The urk, as the word is in Mando'a, the gauntlet. You can attach anything to that, but there are some more common choices.
There are some staples that also kind of bring us into tactics here. I mean, we have seen that several times now in media. The flamethrower is a beloved choice for the gauntlet. And that's probably just got put in there to fight off Jedis and other Force users,
Parry
to
this,
be honest.
you filthy auto-AT.
Filthy wizard. Yeah. We need a word for wizard, now that I think about it. just to tend to that meme. Yeah. But I mean, we see Din Djarin use that, we see Boba use that, and we also see Jango use it. Also, one thing we see several times are hidden plates in the gauntlets. So every time you think a Mando'ade is unarmed, better think twice. There are several scenes in the animated series. I think Bo-Katan uses it in the arc where she fights off the Maul loyalists.
Right. Yep.
In Sundari.
You also see it. You see her use it again in live action in the Mandalorian series. She whips it out on the the Imperial Remnant guy.
Yeah. When they go and take over the freighter.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So also a thing that a lot of Night Owls used in the animated series is Gauntlet housed energy shield.
Didn't Paz Vizsla have one? Maybe I'm remembering wrong.
Ah, you're right. Dang it. Yeah. I didn't remember. Yeah. We see that in the fight scene when they duel each other.
Yeah.
Over apostate. You took your helmet off. Oh no, he took his helmet off. Sorry.
Man.
Can't help it.
Yeah.
He's not a Mandalorian anymore, clearly.
Yeah, jeez. These cultists, man. Actually, this is a great time to mention this. Now that we've been over the topic of Django, and Jaster. Now I think is a perfect time to restate the kind of distaste or dislike of the cultists that we see that Din is a part of, Din Djarin is a part of, because they are called the Children of the Watch. Who could be the Watch here in this case? Well, there's only one quote-unquote watch that we know of in Mandalorian history so far, and that is Death Watch. So now that we're all more familiar with why Death Watch are Shabla Chakare and why we do not like them, I think it's a little clearer why at least some of us who are more more steeped in the Mandalorian culture, why when people come up to us and say, this is the way, why we kind of cringe. And it's that, we don't do that here. Because we're not the cult guys. We don't associate with the Death Watch. Yeah, I get it. It's the way people can connect with the fandom, so it's fine. But
it's fine. But also, like, I think that's the in-universe reason, and I think another reason really is that we just heard it like 5 million times.
Yeah.
So
like, please,
it's
man.
enough.
Yeah. Now, if somebody comes up to me and says "Ibikar I'll still be like, but at the same time, I'll be a little impressed. Like, all right. Someone's putting in the effort to learn the Mando'a.
Yeah. So just being a proud buir at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's a little confused, but he's got the spirit.
Yeah. So where were we before we wandered off again? Dang it. Another staple in the gauntlets is the whipcord. We also saw that several times.
Man, yeah. That is something that I would absolutely love to find some way to make a somewhat functional version of, just for playing with at a convention. Even if it was, just like had like a little magnet on the end of it, pick up some keys or something really light with it. That would just be awesome.
Yeah, it still would be super fun. I'm all there for it. Yeah. Don't forget about the whistling birds. Yeah. I mean, that's actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the Mandalorian first. I don't think we have seen them before.
Actually, you might be right, but I think there are at least some references to them elsewhere, if I'm not mistaken.
That I just don't think that we have seen them used.
Yeah. I think we only have seen them used in The Mandalorian, or at least first saw them used in The Mandalorian. On the gauntlets has been used in the past. It's just never explained what it was. And then the Mandalorian series, they finally gave it a purpose with those little micro missiles.
They put it to use. Yeah. I'm also thought I had seen it before, but yeah. So we never got an explanation of what that indents are for. So, yay!
Do not have a word for whistle or whistling in Mando'a yet. So we don't currently have a way to say a Mando'a name for whistling birds. Unless you just wanted to call them tiny missiles.
Yeah, probably that's one again with translating meaning and not words. What about singing birds?
Yeah. That could possibly be. Yeah, that would be sonare. Singing birds would be Sinare Meglarari.
So birds that sing.
Yeah, exactly. And so exactly. Good job. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. And it's kind of obvious when you see it spelled out, because it's like, oh yeah, of course, birds that sing. But if you don't have that written down as a rule anywhere, then that gets confusing. You don't have anywhere to reference to know that that's how to do it, so it gets confusing there.
So after we are basically done with the besbe'trayce attachments, I guess, and
All the
can
common
go
ones,
on.
at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's sure a ton more, but that could be its own episode. And to be honest, I think at some point that wouldn't be really interesting anymore.
If you can think of it, a Mando'ade has probably stuck it on their gauntlet at some point.
Yeah, like the spork, for example. So, the most iconic blasters we have for dual wielding, at least, are the Westers, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Both versions, like the 35s and the 34s. So, for all you that are not like familiar with the terminology here, the 34s are the more sleek ones that Django uses, and
Yep.
that he actually magnetized for some extra advantage.
Yeah, and those actually, Django's were actually custom built for his kit to be trimmed down and stripped down to be lighter for faster draw.
The 35s are the ones we see most in media. I think they were first introduced in the Clone Wars
I think
series.
that sounds right, I believe. Yeah.
I can't remember seeing them before. And funnily enough, at the start, their like design-wise were really
It's just a brick.
minimalistic.
It's just a brick.
Really. But the great thing is, over time, and even before the live-action series, people adapted on that and made really cool designs out of them.
Yeah.
Like added some detail and some nitty-gritty bits.
Yeah, that's the
And-
great thing about it just being a brick is that it's wide open for customization, and people really cooked on that, and they went off.
Yeah. In the meantime, with the live action series, we got a more like detailed form. It's still kind of simplistic, but it's not like just a brick, like An'u says. I have one version for my kit, so that looks really, really cool. And one thing I came up with thinking about it and looking for like a real world counterpart, I think that probably would mostly align with the 1911 in the real world, probably.
Pretty much,
You
yeah.
have like you have tons of little differences in the versions, but it's like tried and tested. It's like just your bread and butter gun. There really. The thing that I also use for my kit, and I just love for the same reasons as the flamethrower, is the scatter gun. That's mostly
Another one quite difficult to parry by lightsabers.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably best described as an in-universe shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
It fires projectiles at a high velocity on short range.
Yep.
As he said, parry that. Yeah, the next thing is in the same vein, kinda. That's the Werpine shatter guns. And the funny thing about that is actually, I didn't know until I dove a little deeper in the lore that the Werpines are actually insectoids, insectoid species that build weapons. That's so fun. I always assumed they would be like native Mandalorian things, but nope. It's another species that produce the Werpines. And at least when I started cosplaying, they were really popular amongst Mando cosplayers.
Yeah, that was basically like the standard, I would say, when I first got into MMCC as well. When I first made my forum account, it was pretty much everybody was building a Verp, and
Yeah.
I mean, for good reason. They're really awesome.
So the twist with the Verp or Werpines is basically you can have them as a pistol, you can have them as a sniper rifle. That's the first thing, and it's kind of a handheld railgun, really, right?
Essentially, yeah. Interestingly, if anybody listening is a fan of the Mass Effect series, the way that the weapons are described as working, at least in Mass Effect 1, they kind of changed things in the later ones, but the way it's described as working in 1 is pretty similar, actually, to the way the Verpine Shatter Rifle works, and it basically fires a tiny particle, almost like a grain of sand, but at extremely, extremely high velocity. So it like you said, it's a rail gun that shoots a tiny little particle flying through the air and just obliterates, whatever it hits because it's flying at such high speeds.
Yeah, and the thing is, with projectile weapons overall, not just the weapons, lightsabers can deflect blaster rounds because they're also made out of energy. But what happens if a projectile hits a lightsaber? That's right, it fragments. Not a good time for the jetties.
Yeah, you might be able to intercept that high velocity flying metal slug with your glowy saber there, but now you have a high velocity flying blob of liquefied metal slag still flying at your face.
And that's actually a tactic the Mandalorians used in the Mandalorian Wars.
Yeah, once again, parry this.
yeah. I mean, really the theme of today's episode, like things Jedi can parry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is why really the Mandalorians were so uniquely able to deal with Jedi when most other species and such could not, because they just had the weaponry for it. They had the things that the Jedi were not well equipped to defend against.
Yeah, that for once. And the other thing is the armor. But we kind of cut that out today because that will be its own episode with costuming most likely. But also, of course, that like being able to withstand a lightsaber and being able to work your way around one. One notable wearer of a Verpine actually is in the Republic Commando novel I'm reading right now. What's his name?
Gez Hokan. That would be
I can't remember that one for the life of me.
with his iconic red kit.
That I could remember, just not his name. I don't know why. We of course have to talk about Mando's rifle.
Yeah.
The Amban Face Pulse Blaster. Fancy name there.
Yeah, I'm a little curious how he ends up getting another one in the movie, because the whole thing about that rifle is that it's effectively banned due to how horrific it is. The idea behind it is that when it disintegrates whoever it shoots, the pain is so extreme that time seems to slow down, and that split-second disintegration to the target ends up feeling like hours of horrible pain. So it was banned as a war crime to use this thing. And so most of them were destroyed, but somehow Din Djarin has one, which is then also destroyed when he loses the Razor Crest. But somehow the Razor Crest and the Amban rifle returned in the movie.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. We don't know by now.
Yeah, maybe the whole thing is a flashback.
That could be, or the movie is set between the seasons, however that should work, but who knows, right?
Like, we'll see. We'll see.
No disintegrations. How that finally makes sense. Like,
right.
We always were like, what disintegration? What the hell? Yeah. What I really try to go about this with finding like the real world inspiration for the blaster, and I think it might be the Martini Henry there.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Like from playing Battlefield, like the one-shot reload.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful weapon.
The extreme punch, yeah, I really like that in Battlefield 1. The one taps. That's
one taps. Yeah.
Častisić. So yeah, I guess that might have been like also from the feel, like carrying like the single rounds. Yeah. Because it's not really a bolt action. It's like a, how would you say, like a breech loader, right?
It's a breech loader. Yeah, just like Din's Amban. So I think you're right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It would be pretty close.
I know my weapons there. I love it. So You heard it here first, people. So we have one more like iconic Mando blaster left, and that is of course Boba's EE3.
Mm-hmm. The EE3, I really like the I don't know, it kind of has like a Wild West feel to it for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is. It just has that feel, and yeah,
It looks revolvery, I think.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, it just looks cool, and for this reason, specifically because of Boba Fett, the like military surplus decommissioned grenade launchers from I think World War II are exorbitantly expensive, like beyond reason, because that's what it was built off of. It was this like handheld grenade tube from World War II. And yeah, everybody once it was discovered that was the basis for this thing, those became impossible to find and buy because everyone wanted to make their own EE3.
Yeah, yeah, relatable. I mean, kind of the same thing you got for the base that they used for the. Let's just call it donut helmets for for lack of a better word, that the rebels wear. The basis for that is some kind of flight cap or something, pilot cap. I don't know. I looked it once up because I was interested in building one, and boy, that prices are steep.
Yeah.
Oof. So yeah, that's not the first time that Star Wars prop building has like exploded the price of an item.
Yep.
Boba Fett was, as we know, inspired by
Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
Big inspiration for Boba Fett there.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. It's also why he got the poncho in one scene. And that was how I think all like diehard Boba fans could tell that he was returning to the screen when in the Mandalorian season 2 it was, I think, when we heard the Spurs tingle.
Mm-hmm.
When Fennec Shand gets rescued. And was like, oh, I know what's happening. Love that. There you have it, guys. One thing that's stable really in Star Wars weapon design is World War II weapons and other real world items. I mean, like, look to the original trilogy.
Yeah, George Lucas was really inspired by old war movies and used that a lot in Star Wars. Yeah, I was actually not quite accurate on Boba Fett's EE3. It's World War One, and it was a flare launcher.
Oh, a flare launcher.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, but like the E11 of the Stormtroopers, inspired by the Stan gun.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have, so the MG34 was the inspiration for the DLT-19, the Sand Troopers carry. What brings me to also a weapon design that got blatantly copied, to be honest, is the Lewis gun, also worn by the Sand Troopers.
Oh, of course, we also have to mention my personal blaster, the A180, which is again that one is based on it's basically just a different barrel attached to a Luger.
Yeah. So I mean that's early prop building for you all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The IB-94 that's Mando'a's just slightly modified Bergman 1896.
Yeah.
Just looked that up. No credit for that one.
Yeah, that's the blaster that Din Djarin is using in first season, at least. Second season, I think.
And also, out of that category is, of course, so the last one out of that category would be the DL-44 of Han Solo.
Yeah, who can forget?
That's just a Mauser broom handle
with a scope on it.
Scope meshed on it, and another like
couple greaves,
flash hider, basically. Yeah. Not a muscle break. Sorry. Yeah, there you go.
With all of these weapons flying around and Mando'ade carrying most of them, you can say for sure that you should not mess around with Mando'ade.
No.
So what word would we use to talk about that? Would it be the word of the week?
Yeah. Our word of the week is indeed jurkat.
Jurkat, yeah. So technically, jurkat is it's the noun, the word attack or assault. So if you're going to attack somebody, that's the verb. But if there is an attack happening, that is jurkat. Most people start getting into Mandalorian lore and reading up on that. Sooner or later, come across that famous phrase, "Ke nu jurkadir Mando'ade," which is don't mess around with Mandalorians.
There's actually like a fantastic meme with that. It cracks me up every time. Look, Mom. Republic Commando novels. Oh no, little Jimmy. Don't look at them. I don't want you to be influenced by them. Ke nu jurkadir Mando'ade.
Yeah, little Jimmy's already fully
influenced.
Fully influenced.
Like that.
Got the armor
so
on.
Basically what happens with us all.
Exactly.
So close enough to shya for our grammar. Let's just real quick talk about the shya suffix and how and when to use that one.
Yeah, we can have a little section on that. Shya is a suffix that's pretty much just like the er ending in English when you say something is more than the other, like something is big, but then something is bigger. That on big there is basically shya. So it's the more suffix.
So for example, the one that we didn't use for last episode, I'm shocked.
Oh yeah, alit orishia taldin. Yeah, more
exactly.
Than. Yeah, that's
so
where
that's
you get
one example.
That's actually where the suffix comes from, because orishia is bigger than basically, but that shya is just like more. So it's bigger than blood.
Bigger.
It's more than that.
Okay, let me see. Do we have another good example?
I'm pretty sure that's where that suffix first appears. Yeah, the linguistic term is that it's the comparative suffix.
For example, Arden is merciless, so Arden shya is
merciless
more merciless than XYZ.
Yeah.
So I always use that one when I want to compare something, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So in our beloved example, Alit Orishia Taldin, I compare bloodline to family. So I say, it's more than bloodline.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, yeah, then that makes sense there. Ta-da! So anytime you guys want to make a comparison, you could say... So if you want to say Hetikleish is more Kandosi than Heturam, for example.
Yeah.
Then it would be Kandosi Shya.
Yeah. I guess if you wanted to say that it's more awesome. But
yeah, sure.
If you wanted to say that it's more awesome, you'd say Kandosi Lashia.
Oh yeah,
because
okay.
Kandosi by itself it's more ruthless, which that could also be.
That could also work. Be. Hetikleish, Kandosi Shya, Heturam. So the nose burn is always like worse than the mouth burn.
Yeah.
So Nervode, your homework's to tell us in the comments what your favorite Star Wars weapon is. And if you're on Instagram, tag us on a picture of it and we gonna reshare it in our story.
Before we go on ramble longer about this and that and everything, we leave you all the Retour chez me.
Retour chez me.
Until next time, take care.